The skies above Heathrow are home to 87 airlines, 3/4 of which are national flag carriers. Each could be described as an embassy with wings, proudly flashing their country's brand to the world. Japan Airlines, JAL, was appointed the nation's flag carrier in 1953 and became Japan's first international airline. Now its exclusive service has earned them the highest rating an airline can achieve, 5 stars.
OK, yeah, plane's coming on stand now.
But maintaining this excellence means all parts, great and small, have to be given the utmost care and attention, including baggage.
Arrival, sales, sir, containers on the way. Yeah, quite a lot of bags as usual. Hopefully it won't take too long.
The man in charge of running baggage transfers like clockwork is JAL's meticulous passenger service agent, Mr. Show.
Yeah, there's a bit of miscommunication between the loadmaster and the arrival.
I always like to prepare myself for everything.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
So
I don't switch off. Taking quite long.
Today's cargo of 261 suitcases from Tokyo is amongst over 500,000 bags that are transferred from Japan to Heathrow every year.
We're all clear of baggage.
Yeah, it's all got me baggage, thank you.
So to keep the show on the road, the aim now, as always, is to get that first piece of luggage off the plane and to the carousel in under 17 minutes.
Oh no, Shay's the worst. He'll be right on my case if the bags aren't done in time.
They're on the way.
Should be here by now.
Yeah, he's just told me he's on the way.
While one national airline envoy is kept waiting in the wings, another 2 customer service ambassadors, Siobhan and Heather, are busy having good old crack,
Oh my God, it's not going to go over that.
giving their passengers a special send-off to Dublin's fair city.
Walk, Heather, walk. Move.
I'm
Okay,
trying
can
to
you-
walk. I'm going to push you towards Stallone in a minute.
Aer Lingus, the Irish flag carrier, boasts a heritage of tip-top customer service.
Hey, did you want a cupcake?
Thank you.
From my lovely Irish bakers, you see?
Oh, very good.
I think the reason that people like to fly with Aer Lingus, it's the friendliness. I think the Irish are known, I mean, they're known for a lot of things, but caring, compassionate, and very friendly.
I see you're full of celebration there.
Guinness.
Yeah, Guinness. So there's
Lovely,
Guinness in
lovely.
that, yeah?
Do you want a cupcake, sir? St. Patrick's Day?
When they're not handing out cupcakes at the departure gate, Siobhan and Heather are keeping their check-in area spick and span.
Heather, you missed a bit. Heather, see a bit of it, but mind you feel by seeing it.
I feel like I'm at home.
The floor is not the only surface that's having a polish. Because today, Aer Lingus's 20-year-old branding is being replaced with a crisp flagship design. And the very first plane unveiling the new livery is due in this afternoon.
Where are you travelling to?
Dublin.
Are you on the one?
2:15.
Oh, lovely. You're on the new aircraft today?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a really big thing. I was here first time round. I worked for Aer Lingus when we first painted the aircraft. So it's lovely to be here again when the rebranding's happening again.
And is it going to be still Shamrock?
I'm excited for the staff to see it. They can't wait for something new.
Think of the film Elf when they said Santa Claus is coming.
The rebrand is coming.
With rebrand fever clearly gripping the staff, passenger experience manager Sue swings by to offer her design appreciation.
It's much fresher, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's much fresher. It looks bright. It looks a bit cheerier, doesn't it?
And it's a bit modern,
yeah,
I think, as
yeah,
well.
it's a little bit livelier, so that's quite nice. No, I think it's nice, don't you? Are you going to have an upgrade on your uniforms? So you're going to...
Yes, that's coming towards the end of the year. We haven't seen it yet, but we suspect it might be teal.
What happens if it turns out to be this lime kind of green?
We can't have it that colour because you'd lose the staff.
And Aer Lingus can't afford to lose staff, with Dublin being Heathrow's #1 European destination.
That's it, just 3 departures.
So before the new plane arrives, they've still got to process 3,000 passenger bags and get them to their correct planes. They'll be joining the 37 million pieces of luggage that are whisked around on Heathrow's nearly 42,000 conveyor belts every year. Most airlines handle bags in much the same way. But Japan Airlines chooses to treat their load a little differently.
Coming now. They're coming now.
Regulated by Mr. Show's timekeeping, JAL's baggage handling is not just functional.
So you get a good comparison now to see their bags. You watch our bags.
It's about exacting presentation.
So as you can see, all the agents are making sure that the bags are put straight up on the belt and all the handles facing outside, so that's easy for passengers to just grab the handle and then slide them off the belt, rather than just like searching for the handle and then pick it up.
Now with the bags neatly dispatched, it's time for the showpiece. Who wrote this?
I'm not a professional athlete, but it's always nice to stretch yourself before you do some exercise. You got it. I'm not strong at all. These bags are not too heavy.
Are those stretches paying off?
Hopefully it is. I'll find out in maybe 2 days' time. I might get some muscle aches.
Clearly there's customer service, and there's Japanese customer service.
I'm just looking for the bags for the a mum traveling with a small kid, just as a courtesy.
This unique attention to hospitality and detail is known as a motenashi.
Well, omotenashi is, in a sense, like a proactive way of serving passengers. So instead of waiting for passengers to contact you and ask for help, you just provide the help before even asked for it. It's the one with a rainbow belt on it. Thank you. お待たせいたしました.
So if you're travelling in Japan and you're wondering, how did they think of that? You've probably been a motenashied.
I think it's absolutely fabulous. I love perfection, and that makes me a very happy person.
Very neatly arranged. I've never seen them so neat.
Actually, we have. Where we just came from in Tokyo, they do this.
It's not the same on that belt.
Clear and fast, and I'm very satisfied.
As the last of the immaculately handled baggage is reunited with its owner, it's time to reflect on this morning's workout.
お疲れ様でした.
Nearly 500,000 flights pass through Heathrow every year, which means welcoming 650 landings and saying bon voyage to over 660 departures each day. That's heaven for some, and hell for others.
I got a whole fear of aeroplanes, which is strange for someone that works in an airport, I know, but I just don't like them. Last time I went on there, I had to do there was nobody else. My pulse went up from 63 to 104, and that was just getting off. I hate aeroplanes with a passion, and I've just said that to the wrong team.
Border Force Rob can't get away from his flying demons. Today, him and his team are swooping from gate to gate, making spot checks on passengers as soon as they disembark.
There we go. It is. Tell everybody to get their passports and ID cards ready for inspection. Thank you. Okay. You're travelling alone? One person alone? Yeah? Why have you come to London?
The job of Border Force is to protect the British border, as well as ensuring the welfare of those entering the UK.
And how long are you here for?
3 days.
3 days. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Who's next, please? Sir, can you come forward? Come forward.
As officers slowly file through the passengers, they come across a Romanian man who's told them he's come to the country to work.
What kind of work will you be doing here in the UK? Construction. Construction. So how many hours will you be working? Do you know how many hours a day?
No.
No.
He speaks very limited English. He has no money on him.
So we're just going to go back and we'll get a translator for Romanian for you so we can talk properly.
Patron.
Patron. The boss is from
the boss is in the boss.
We get an interpreter on telephone.
Yeah, would it be helpful? Okay.
Yeah, we'll head down.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
East European workers coming to the UK are often hired for cheap labour, which sometimes leads to exploitation. So Rob and his team need to find out more about this man's situation.
Okay, so if you place your baggage.
Further clues might well lie in his personal belongings.
It's about understanding everything from what he states his reason to coming to the UK is, versus what's in his bag. He brought his own food as well. So this food is for you?
Yeah.
Okay. He's brought his own frozen chicken. That's fine, it's okay, it's okay. I'm a corn veggie burger person for myself, mate. That's okay, no problem. Finding raw chicken is nothing really. We find all sorts in bags. I've come across dead goats. That was someone who was studying witchcraft. You just bring a dead goat in your bag, as you do. Yeah, I mean, I always do. We've got a lot of work clothes here, so this is a good indication of the passengers' intentions here. There we go, more work pants.
In the UK, Romanian builders form the most prominent foreign workforce in the construction industry.
Judging by the quality of the clothing that he's got here and the quality of the toiletries that he's got as well. Quite old, so maybe indicating poverty back home. He's brought his life with him.
So we're all done, yeah? The bag search?
Working in the UK on minimum wage as a builder could be a life-changing opportunity, as you earn 3 times more than in Romania.
Ultimately, this chap's come to the UK for a better life. He's come from a poor country, he's got no money, he's got no possessions, he's got absolutely nothing. So, in all fairness to him, on a personal note, he's probably done the right thing. But it's important that we establish that that work is within the laws and that the employers themselves are responsible. That's where I'm getting to. I want to get to the person who's behind it. Who is he going to be working for while he's here?
Pentru cine veți lucra?
Nu știu cum îl cheamă.
He really doesn't know his name.
What's the name of the company the boss owns?
Nu știu, domnișoară.
Doesn't know.
And how are they going to pay you? So how will you collect your wages?
Eu dau să știu cum mă plătești.
Not sure how they will pay.
Name the address that you're going to be staying in.
Ieșirea acolo și se rezolvă totul. Ori patronul, dacă vine să mă ia...
Doesn't know the name.
He needs to know that as a Romanian national, he has a right to work here, but he also has a right to earn minimum wage here as well. And if he isn't, then he is being exploited. And if he is being exploited, then he will get the necessary help.
Thank you very much. There's a lot of red flags that I'm not happy with at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to find out who this sponsor is and if there is something untoward going on. I've got my suspicions.
At Terminal 2, there's a definite buzz amongst the Aer Lingus staff ahead of a distinguished VIPP arrival. That's very important painted plane.
I'm really excited. Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting, actually. But I know it's going to be good.
Thanks very much. Have a good flight.
Check-in going grand. Out on the airfield, someone who's seen more than one flagship paint job is turnaround manager John.
I started on the airport here with Aer Lingus 1st of April 1970. That's 49 years in April. That's a lifetime.
On this historic occasion, John's making sure the inaugural flight is turned around speedily, ready to depart to Dublin bang on time.
Okay, all good. This will be my first time seeing the new livery. I've seen a few bits on the YouTube or on the newspapers and looks very fresh, looks very good. Go ahead.
John in the zone, 21 right, finals.
Finals 21 right, here at 5 past. Thanks, Roshan.
It's landed.
I've heard it's landed.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Back tail there.
It's coming, it's coming. Oh, wow. Lovely. Oh. It's lovely and clean looking as well. It looks really modern.
It takes up to 10 days to paint a single plane, sucking up 500 litres of paint. And let's face it, any embassy would need a revamp after 20 years. But is it a hit with the veteran on the ground?
Well, I see a lot of white, lots of, I like the way the shamrock is the design on the tail. It's definitely eye-catching, definitely freshens up compared to when you look at the one next door. I think it's very, very nice.
With the gate about to open, it's also the first chance for the passengers to take a look at the new design.
This is the new one. This is the new paint colour on it. This one here, yeah? Yeah, you come in on that one, and you're going to leave on this one.
As long as it makes Dublin.
It makes Dublin.
Well, I think it's very nice. It's the colour is very nice.
It looks the bloody same. But, you know, thanks for them for trying. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah, so you've got a Shamrock and Aer Lingus, and it's still green. Even though British Airways owns you.
Well, actually, Aer Lingus and British Airways are both owned by the same massive European company. But, shenanigans aside, John is in the middle of conducting a fast-paced turnaround.
How are we doing?
In just 40 minutes, he needs to direct the arrival of the new crew...
Would we set a time for boarding?
...and orchestrate the fuel and baggage intake.
OK, you got your fuel in 3 final. That's good. OK, any changes, give me a shout.
We have our final guests. They should be on board in a moment.
Lovely, thanks a million.
So we should start any second now.
So another on time, if not early, departure. Well done.
So, with the luck of the Irish, the maiden flight soars to Dublin. May the road rise up to meet you. Meanwhile, at the border, Border Force Rob is not leaving it to luck when it comes to allowing a Romanian construction worker into the UK.
The most important thing that we need to do now is just gather every little piece of evidence that we possibly can to try and make the right decision for the passenger. Ultimately, it's this passenger's life that we're dealing with here, so the only choice has got to be the right choice.
Yeah, so we just took the chap to the toilet and then he received a phone call from a guy called Gabriel. So he's claiming to be a friend and he said, oh, who are you? He's a bit reluctant to give any details. When I said Border Force, it was more forthcoming. He said he gave me a contact number for a guy and he said he knows about where he'll be staying, what job he'll be doing. So it's probably best if we give that person a call.
Enter paradise.
Hello.
Hello, it's immigration here at Heathrow Airport.
Yes.
Hello, are you expecting anyone into the UK today?
I am indeed, yes.
Who are you expecting?
Nicholas, his name is.
Okay, what relationship is Nicholas to yourself?
He's basically, I'm going to be employing him for a construction job.
Where's he going to be staying? Is accommodation part of the job, or?
It is indeed, yes.
Is that his own flat, or is he going to be sharing?
It's going to be sharing, that's right, yeah.
With how many?
Shared accommodation.
Okay. How many hours a week will he be working?
Well, 8 to 10 hours. It'll be a day, probably.
And what's he going to be paid?
At the moment, he's going to be paid minimum pay of £8 something.
So who arranges the national insurance and the tax side of it for him?
I will be doing that when he arrives. As soon as he's got his paperwork ready, I'll employ him.
That's wonderful.
Can I just ask you, I mean, you're asking me all sorts of questions and everything, but I'm not really understanding what the entire purpose for it. Or is there something wrong with him, or is there not something I'd rather know if I'm taking somebody on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously he comes to the UK. He's got limited use of English, so we just need to make sure that everything's all right for him.
Yeah.
So that's why, that's all it is at this stage. Okay, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you then, bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
He probably does own the company, he probably does have a company.
With the owner verifying that he is the man's employer and showing responsibility, the next step is to establish the authenticity of the company itself.
Right, let's run this business address through Intel. Let's do some checks on it. Let's see if anything comes back on that, yeah?
And Rob makes sure the business is trading legitimately by also running its details through the police database. there's good news as the checks come back clear. Finally, the eager worker and his frozen chicken are allowed to enter the country.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Okay, so if you just follow my colleague. There was a lot of mixed feelings with him while he was here, because obviously it was a new country for him, so he didn't know what was right and what was wrong here. So I think there was a big sigh of relief as he did walk away from the airport, and hopefully we've done everything we can to look after him.